Good morning, everyone. It's Friday, May 20th, and it's time for a garden tour. So let's go look at the garden. Start up towards the front here, work our way back. We got my little pond with a cattle panel trellis, and it has two little beds on either side. One has a loofah, and the other side, I can zoom in here. Whoop, that guy has a cucumber. So I'm hoping they will arch up and over and shade the pond a little bit. I come back around. We got all my irises. We got blackberries are actually starting to set some flowers. So they're going to be flowers soon. These little buds are going to turn to blackberries. So we'll actually get blackberries this year. And these came from a wild patch growing near my house. I took cuttings from, rooted out. They look pretty good. This little bed along the front here is my pollinator bed. And it is full of sunflowers, zinnias, hollyhocks, more sunflowers, a little baby borage, sunflowers, 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 and more borage. So that'll be great to draw in the bees. Good for the garden. On the other side of the path is my okra patch. Got all my little okras are planted out. We got some red burgundy and some green. There's a little okra hiding in the middle next to this pretty little kale and a lettuce. My rose bush is kind of petering out. And underneath it's more hollyhocks. And then behind it we got a nice little strawberry patch going, and these guys are starting to fruit, and we're getting lots of little berries. Not very big, but ooh, they're so sweet. Like all these little guys. Probably pick them tomorrow once they're fully red. This whole little wheelbarrow is loaded with them. And then my squash I planted out, I think a couple weeks ago. It's really starting to take off and look good. They'll eventually fill up this whole bed and probably overflow. A zinnia in the corner. Red onions along the back side. They're starting to get a little bit of a bulb, so hopefully I'll get something off of them. It's getting kind of late in the season. Everything's bolting. And back here's more squash. More squash. We got a wild little pea plant growing up this trellis that's still, ooh, that's for me. That's part of my breakfast. And some little squash that are going to grow up and over on this trellis. Oop, oop. This is the green bean patch. It's actually half dragon tongue bush beans and half royal burgundy bush beans. And in the front here we got a Kajari melon and a sweet passion melon, which will eventually grow up and over. Both of these trellises will have squash and binding stuff on them. Now I come back around. We got rhubarb. It's got a little bug damage, but it's doing really good. A Napa Chardonnay cherry tomato, and it's already setting fruit too. Excited to have all my tomatoes in the ground now. I have almost everything planted out. We got a couple maters in this planter. Some sad looking basil and a zinnia. Same old sorrel Swiss chard. It's gone to flower. And here we got leeks, nasturtiums, more pretty little purple peas. I don't know what this guy is, but he's covered in aphids. But probably have to pull him out. He's not making anything. Rosemary, catnip, all that catnip. And this little bed's got some cucumbers, Zinnias in the back, some radishes still left over, waiting for them to get a little bit bigger, and more cucumbers, and lots of leeks along the edges. And this is the herb bed. We got thyme, dill, lettuce leaf basil, that's a chamomile, a flat leaf parsley, cilantro, lavender. It looks beautiful. It's starting to get some little flower buds on it. Oh, they're starting to bloom. Look at that. How relaxing. Another dill. The monster oregano plant. Anybody need oregano? I got it in spades coming out my ears. And it's kind of a bully in this bed taking over. And along the back is a flat leaf parsley. Kale's going to flower. Another random brassica, pot of mint. We got onions. So they're bolting. They're getting their little flowers, and they're not really making much of a bulb. But we also got some squash, and I think melons, and a cucumber in the back there. Along the back of the fence, there's potatoes and Egyptian walking onions. And my artichoke bed. It's got a lot of little artichokes. They never get very big, but they are tasty. Get enough of them together, make a meal. I've already picked a couple. This massive beast, so I can zoom out here. This is asparagus. Said it's still going strong. Still throwing up an occasional little shoot. Probably get more once it rains. Hidden underneath, there's a strawberry plant. Sneak plants in wherever I can. And then we got fava beans, which are finally setting some beans. Nice fava beans. More fava beans. Whew. It's a little windy out. Alright, we got paste tomato. More fava beans. I think that's a volunteer sunflower that's not supposed to be there, but we'll let him be. And down the center are onions, calendula at the back, tomatoes on either side, and a little kale, little red Russian kale going in the middle there. Along the back side, we got, I think it's a Napa Chardonnay tomato plant. Cilantro, I just harvested, so it's kind of looking a little sad right now. I think it's a gooseberry and another little tiny cherry tomato. And then we'll run over by the greenhouse. This is going to be another long video. No apologies. I'm not sorry. My garden's awesome. We got, do not want my shadow in the picture. Bunch of stuff I haven't planted yet. We got like nasturtiums, zinnias, some lettuce, some little squash that need to go in. That's one of the lettuce leaf basil. Makes huge, massive leaves. Onions, chamomile, and it's starting to set some little flowers. My first chamomiles. And over by the ladies, yes, beware. Tiny dinosaurs, they're vicious. We got this little bed. It's kind of a mess right now, but it's got a zinnia. It's got a few tiny baby leeks in here. And then I put my cucamelon on here, and it looks little now, but by the end of summer, that little cucamelon plant will cover this entire panel. Yeah, I just kind of leaned it up against the house, hoping it takes over. And back over to the greenhouse. The greenhouse gets pretty hot in there. There's not much inside it right now, so most everything is outside. We got hollyhocks on either side. We got a green zebra striped tomato. Thank you, Charisma, for the seeds. Over here, more Egyptian walking onion. We got sweet potato slips. I'm still trying to figure out where I'm going to put those. Strawberries and green beans that decide to pop up late. Back to the front, hollyhock. More tomatoes. 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 And one more tomato. And along the back here, along this trellis, is sweet peas. More, I think they're purple potted peas. I'm not sure yet. They haven't set any fruit, but they definitely got little flowers on them. Looks so pretty. Honeycrisp apple tree, still fantastic. I'm gonna probably put him in the ground this fall when it cools off. A tray of dahlias, mostly dahlias. Once again, I have nowhere to put them. Find a place for them eventually. Strawberries, my little elderberry cutlings I took off of my bush. Chamomile, peanuts, little tiny peanut plants. And this guy is so pretty. This is a radish. When radishes bolt, you can see the little bulb at the bottom. It was a radish, but it bolts and turns into these beautiful, beautiful little flowers. They look like butterflies. And we got my little salad tower hiding behind it. Picked a bunch off of it yesterday. It's still going strong. And then all I got inside the greenhouse here is basils. There's a sweet Genevieve, lettuce leaf, purple basil, and a cilantro hiding at the bottom there. And this is climbing triple crop tomato. And I have it on a string. It and the cucumbers are attached to the rafters so that they can both vine upwards. And my cucumber looks fantastic. They both seem okay here in the heat of the greenhouse. It's even setting a little cucumber blossom. Yay, pickles. And that will be the conclusion of our garden tour for today. Thank you guys for joining me, and I'll be sure to post more soon. Thanks.